Everybody, this is welcome to my first pick a card reading. So I'm finally here doing this, and I will have this uploaded as soon as I'm done. So this is Group A, the Black Queen, Group B, the White Queen, Group C, the Black King, and Group D, the White King. So I'd like you to take a moment, pause. Take a deep breath, pause the video, let out that breath, and I'd like you to focus on these groups of cards and see which one is it that your body is drawn to, which one you feel some type of emotion or response, an emotional response to Group A, Group B, Group C, or Group D. And so when you're done with picking out that group, then you can go to the description and see which group what time your group is on. This is new to me, so forgive me if I stutter on my words, stumble, because I don't have a script to read from, right? So yeah, since it's new, yeah, just go to the description box and find that, or you can just go along and watch all the groups like whenever I watch them. That's how I do. I just let them all roll through till I get to mine. Okay, so we're going to start off with Group A at 137. So, Group A, here you go. Now, I've already looked at these cards, this one and this one, because I started this reading already. Okay, and I thought I was hitting pause and I hit stop, so I had to redo it because they're my first pick a card reading. I'm not going to split it up in half. I'll just do how I'm doing now. So this is going to be your message card right here from the universe. This one right here, and we'll read it for you. But it says, things are not as they appear. And then you have the singer of intuition. This is for the person that is in no contact with you. This is the things that they're going through. This is what they're going through right now in their present life, in their moment. And any cards that are minor arcana would be things that they want to do towards you, for you, or what is going on about their feelings towards you and stuff. And any major arcana looks like this is what they're going towards their future. And right now your person has the Star card. So they're trying to heal. They're choosing a direction, looking for a direction. They're choosing a new dream. They have the Tower card. They also, and so there's some major disruption in their life because they have the World card. And then the other tarot cards that came out for them, they have the Emperor. They have Justice. And they have Judgment. So your person, these are the major arcana, they're all major arcanas for your person. And your person is now just beginning to go through a process of learning how to use their intuition. They're getting hits on this probably. This is something new for them. But it seems like and it is probably blowing their mind. And as far as things are not as they appear, what is this saying? This is the message for you. The lower the price of your love, the higher its value. So that's like saying your love isn't materialistic. So if this person has actually treated you in a way where you needed to provide them with gifts, money, whatsoever, materialistic things, and that's how they were valuing you as for your love. You thought that that was what you needed to give them for love. That's not true at all. It says brain freeze, the universe. So that's a message that's meant for you to hear about your own self. You could also be experiencing intuition too, but this is for your person that you're in no contact with. Now I have another card that I have is my I Ching card, and what they're doing is centering on the truth. So what their whole life is basically bombarding down on them, and now it's like the light deep inside of their soul, deep inside of their mind is like piercing through, and they're starting to see little reality things. That's what their intuition started to kick in, and the world is basically turned upside down. Look at this. I mean, there's an ending here. There's an ending to old ways, an ending to the way that they had comfort, and now they're having to heal. They're having to find a new path in life, because what they had known for their whole life most likely seems to have just come crashing down. Everything's been just probably yanked. They've went through a really major tower moment. There's been judgment on them. There's judgments, like judgment of their past, things from the past. It's like they're being rebirthed here, being rebirthed and putting into the world as a baby almost again, seeing things as in a new way. And they could be dealing with some legality problems, dealing with the justice, dealing with court, dealing with authority figures, also trying to rebalance out their life, trying to do things in a fair and just way now. Your person also comes off as very controlling. Your person likes to have control over their world. This is the type of really strong personality that your person must have control over everything in the world, and for them to have lost all this stuff and to have the justice system come in and say, no, it's time now for things to become fair and balanced. This is being judged here, being judged for all your past, for things that were done wrong. This is the end for that. This is the destruction of your life. And here's your new healing way. You're no longer in control. So he's out of control. He's no longer in control. Feeling most likely his whole world has come and just crashed. This is your person. The feelings that, okay, want a good card. This is an oracle card. Little cards that I made because I didn't have the money at the time to buy them, so I went through and I found different ones that I liked, and I put a little deck of my own together, kind of. This one would be what's going on with this person right now. Something positive, actually, considering all this stuff. And this is the good card right here, too. This is him using intuition and now beginning to heal and finding a new path in his life here. Even though he's still got some control, he's still going to have this personality big time showing up. He's like the father, or it's a he or a she, but this person likes to come off as the dominant in the relationship, in any of relationships and friendships and any ships, and even in family. But they have positive, uplifting new friends right now. They are having to accept love from people that are so different from them right now. They're having to learn these people around them aren't letting him have the people that are around him. This person, he or she, I'm still saying he, this person has been put into a place where they have no choice but to be around positive people, people who are going to uplift him and try to steer him in the right direction. There's just, that's the only thing that can happen for this person. So we're going to go into some other cards that I made here. And yes, my one daughter really appreciated these. It showed her some things within 10 minutes. We had a whole mess of feelings show up within a 10-minute ordeal over water leaking from the ceiling and her being frustrated, which turned to anger. So these cards came in handy, but these cards I made because I thought, wow, I want a deck of cards that has feelings in it, that, you know, and now I'm using them for this pick a card. Today was my day to do this reading, so here we go. The feelings that your person is trying to right now, while in no contact, that they have to work on. Negative feelings. how they deal with negative feelings. Maybe they're not very controlling. If they're a controlling person, they're seeing now that they need to work on their feelings about how they feel when they get negative. The other feeling is that they're working on is enraged. What they're doing, the things they do, they're looking at those things, what they do to others, how this is affecting their life. If they had a tower moment, they probably pretty much felt enraged about that. Especially if they had justice come in, the law come in and say, well, this is what they might have had a pretty negative aspect and pretty enraged about it. Another feeling, this is obviously, this may be how you met them when you first met them. They may have showed you this one. They are thoughtful. They do have a cheery side to them. It may not show up that much, but this is one feeling that is really good. But they're also trying to learn how to maybe put that to bring that out more than the negative stuff. Some social skills that they're trying to work on right now is expressing affection. Maybe they don't know how to express affection. Maybe they don't like to be touched. Maybe they don't like to hug. Their love language is probably going to be this person. If they can't do the expression of affection, they probably like the material. They like the gifts. They like to do servitude. They like to do everything except for the touch, unless it's, they probably like the sexual touch, but, this is just your everyday, like holding hands and a little peck here or there, or a brief touch on the hand. This is someone who doesn't like to be touched. Another social skill, and also another thing with expressing affection, maybe they come off a little bit overly affectionate too. They may have to learn how to hold back on that and how to learn how to give it in an appropriate way. Another thing that they're learning is how time to make a complaint. Maybe they don't make any complaints. Maybe when they do make complaints, they wait till it's too late. So this is about how to make complaints in the right time and how to actually make the complaint, probably, because they're probably pretty demanding if they're controlling, right? And then another social skill that they're working on is introducing to others, how they introduce themselves to others. So this person probably does not like to have, they probably like to be center stage. They like to have control. If they're coming across as the emperor energy, they want to have center stage. They want things to all be revolved around them. But now this is something they're having to learn, how to introduce themselves to other people now, and in a friendly way, not in a pompous way. Sorry about that. Not sorry about that. That's just what I'm gonna say. This person may come across a bit domineering. They may come across more superior towards others, and that can make other people not really want to be around them. But some people may actually be attracted to them because of that superiority that they have. It brews off, or how's that? It breathes off of them confidence, but this might be a self-confidence or overconfidence. It's maybe a self-confidence. What the heck? It's a false self-confidence. It may be overconfident to cover up insecurities by being really over superior and knowing everything. Now, some personalities that they're recognizing within themselves that you may know them by, that they're working on, that would probably be most likely be very appreciative, is you are being dramatic. So they don't like to have somebody deal with, it's going back here to time to make a complaint. If you've complained to them before, they're like, oh no, you're being dramatic, leave me alone. You're just that didn't happen, And the other thing that they're having to learn about themselves is the silent treatment. And I'm laughing because, hey, you're in no contact right now, or you would not be watching this, and so your person is they're learning about the silent treatment, and hopefully they're not doing what a silent treatment would do. They might actually know what a silent treatment does to another person, and this person may pull the silent treatment on you, but what it does do, and they're learning this, and hopefully they're not doing it now to be manipulative. But if they are being manipulative, they're learning how damaging this is. And I hope that this information that I'm putting out here does not get used to destroy another person. But this silent treatment puts doubt in another person, makes you want them more. This silent treatment makes you want to hold on to them more. If this is being done manipulatively, it's because the less that they contact you, the more they see how much you want them, and so you're chasing after them and texting them and blowing up their phone and da-da-da. And so each time that they give you a silent treatment and you call them, each time they know that every time they give you a silent treatment, they know you're just going to keep calling them. So why don't I think, and then they're telling you that you're being over dramatic, that they were just busy, you know. So I think it's maybe time to play them at their own game, right? If they're used to doing this to you, you know, maybe you've actually learned how to react to this silent treatment. And you don't need to go talking, you don't have to go talking about this person, because if this person does the silent treatment on purpose and they do say that you're being dramatic, then they are the kind of person that would actually go out there and turn it all around and make it look like you're the bad person. So as far as making those numerous texts and stuff, they could show those texts, save all their texts, say they could tell you they deleted them, but they probably got them. They probably have them hidden somewhere. They could go and show people, look how much she just chases me. They could make you look really bad, this person. But right now, this person is probably not anywhere near their phone. Not if they're having to deal with this and they've had judgment and all that kind of fun stuff done to them. So right now, there's your person. That's what your person is dealing with right at this moment. So that is, we're done with group A. So just hope you guys can leave comments and don't hate the messenger. But I think that it's a good thing that they're actually learning how to use their intuition. There's some good stuff going on with your person, but right now they're dealing with some negative energy. They're dealing with enrage. They're dealing with some thoughtful, so they're kind of almost in the, what they would say, a good mood. They're having mood swings. And as far as expressing affection, you probably definitely are not getting any affection from them right at the moment, if these are the feelings that they're dealing with. And maybe this is for you. You can start making complaints, but I wouldn't even bother contacting them at the moment. Let them contact you. If it's worth their time of day, they'll contact you, because they're doing the silent treatment on you. Give it right back. Show you that you don't have to do it on purpose, but I'm just saying, just do your own thing. They'll end up getting back with you somehow, some way, but right at the moment, it does not look like they are in any place at this time that I would even want to be in contact with this kind of person, especially if you're empathic. This person would just really get you in that place of empathicness where you're really compassionate and kind and want to, and they could just, if they're going to tell you you're dramatic, why would you want to be around that person right at this moment? They need to you know, start showing change instead of just words coming out of their mouth. Okay, so that is group A. I'm going to put this on pause so I can write the number down, the time. Okay, group B. the White Queen here now. Let's see what's going on for Group B. So here's your Oracle card, and we have the message that is for you right here. And let me get these all put up here. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Alrighty. So the first Oracle card that we have is a message for you. It's called, it says, dwell on what you love. And what it says on the back, it says, asking someone to change is like pruning a tree. Neither will ever be the same again. Scarier still is that you can't quite know in what new directions they'll grow. And it says, I wouldn't change a leaf in you, the universe. So dwell on what you love, and maybe you've asked your person that maybe your person has asked you to change, and or you have asked them to change. But when you guys first met together, when you guys first met each other and you started dating, if you're in a long-term commitment, or well, right now you're in no contact, but if you've been with them for a long time and then all of a sudden you start asking them to start changing themselves, or they've asked you to change things about you, well, it's like that's kind of ironic, because what happened to the person that you fell in love with? And then vice versa, right? I mean, they accepted you for everything that you were, and now all of a sudden it's like they're wanting you to change. So this card is basically saying you are lovable, you are lovable, not basically, you are lovable. And the things that they accepted you for, you're good enough. They shouldn't, now all of a sudden they want you to change because they don't like something about you. Okay, well, you know what? If they don't need you, then they should walk out the door and never turn back. But this, I don't know how that affects your relationship, but you can love you yourself, and for you're acceptable just the way you are. So now let's get on with this. So I don't go on a rant, right? So the other Oracle card I have is Sylvanus. So this person, your person, is getting guidance. They're getting truth and clarity. They seem to be in a place where they're not understanding something. They feel like there's some type of deception, and so they're getting guidance. There's some type of deception in their life, and we're going to find out what else is going on with this person with these Oracle cards that I pulled. So the first ones that I pulled, we have the Queen of Wands. So this is this person thinking about you. They're observing you. They're in a quiet place. They're being grounded. They're wanting to just observe and watch you. They're thinking about you. They see potential in you for long-term commitment or security, material things. Oh gosh. They see that there's potential. They have this idea that there could be a potential long-term, stable, secure thing. They see that. They're looking at maybe material things, though, in you, how you can provide security. They're observing, so they could be just sitting back, watching and observing and making plans. Because here, this is the Eight of Pentacles. They may be staying up late at night thinking, what they've observed in you, because they're not contacting you right now, what they're observing in you, they're thinking about it, thinking how this is going to work, and so they're working up some type of plan, because they're pretty passionate. They're not willing to give up yet. This is the Nine of Wands. They're passionate. They want to achieve. They want to accomplish. They haven't got to the Ten of Wands where they're like throwing it all to hell and saying fuck it and walking off, excuse my English, but they're really determined. It's like they're going to get out of that bed one day, and they're going to get that stick and come back after you. Not to beat you or nothing. This is that they have some passion in you. There's a new passion that's burning for you right at the moment, and they're really wanting to just go beat down your door maybe. They're also using their intuition here, so they could be being secretive right now because they're planning something here. because they got the Ace of Cups. They want a new beginning with you. Look at that. They want to offer you this cup of love. But they, a new beginning. They want to do this, but they're being secretive about it because they're doing observation. They're going within and trying to be intuitive. They're trying to hold back, not let you know. And look at this. They're super duper passionate. They're just about to bounce off of that. They're feeling all this passion for you. They have all this passion for you that they're just like, oh my God, maybe, but they're holding back. They could be doing this on purpose. They're trying to find some clarity about something. So they're just watching you, using their intuition, being secretive about making plans, and trying to find clarity. The perfect plan is what they're probably trying to figure out. The perfect way to come towards you, to come offer you this cup of love. So I don't know why you guys have went and maybe there was some type of deception, or this person may have perceived something in their own way that they thought was wrong. Maybe they have a false illusion of something that you did. They want to believe that they're right. So maybe they're thinking they're wrong now, and so they're trying to get through. There's something going on in their mental state that they need to clear up something. And we have, as for the I Ching, we have determination. So, and these cards, this right here, this Queen of Wands energy and this Nine of Wands right there shows me this person, really super duper determined. And so, and the I Ching just clarified that too for you guys. So now we're going to get into, oh yes, let's see. And what else do we have? They're looking at playfulness as far as what their love. They're wanting to be playful with you. So your person is really wanting to be playful. And it says, to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit to shine. So they're probably really thinking a lot about different things that they can come up with, different opportunities, different activities to do. They want to just play and have some fun. They're bound and determined to get back at you, though. So let's see what we have going on in their fillers, right? Let's see, where are they? There they are. Or should we do, yeah, we'll do feelings first. Okay, so in their feelings, what they're working on right now, what they're dealing with at the moment, what kind of feelings are they having to go through? They have envious feelings. So they are looking at you in a materialistic way, maybe they're used to seeing you materialistically, who knows, but they're envious. So this would be like them looking at cars, other people driving a nice car, and they say, oh, their dad probably gave them the money for it or something like that. But they are dealing with, they're recognizing this feeling of how enviousness makes them react to other people and things, and causes reactions in their own life. The other thing they're doing is dealing with feelings of being secretive. This may be them being secretive towards you, or how they're maybe you being secretive to them. But this is feelings within themselves. So they're dealing with secretive. See, look at that. And he was like, shh. Got those sunglasses on, and here he's trying to cut through that deception. He or she is, right? And they're using their intuition. They're being secretive. What the heck? Secretive. They're planning, so they're surprise planning you. Don't be surprised. They're also dealing with hungover, the feelings of hungover. So your person most likely might actually like to party a lot, right? And so this might be your person. They might party, or this, if they do the closet thing, you may not even know about it, but this is a feeling that they're actually having to right now deal with. Is this, hopefully this isn't a cup of drink that they want to give you. But no, that's actually a relationship, a love. But they're dealing with feelings that they have to deal with because of being hung over. So they may be recuperating at the moment. some social skills that they're recognizing in themselves that they need fixed, that they need fixed, that they need to change. See, now here we're talking about change, right? This is, maybe you've said these things to them about these feelings and stuff like that they needed to change. You may have said that to them, or they may have said that you needed to change this stuff, but this is stuff they're recognizing that they need to actually work on, that you'll see a difference when they start making these changes. And the first one that we have for your person is, how are you responding to teasing? So they may not respond very well to teasing. They might get uptight and run off and get pissy poo and just have a temper tantrum. They don't like to be teased. But they can probably tease other people and have no problem doing it, right? But the minute you tease this person, or it could be vice versa, where they don't like to be teased. They might not get mad. They might not really tease. They could either become really, mean and aggressive, or they could become really submissive and hurt feelings for teasing. But as far as when they do go back and they tease other people, if this person is mean, I don't know if this person, they don't seem too mean. They seem more of a sympathetic type, a kind person, but they might actually have it, because they're grounded, and they're energetic. They have a lot of passion for you. They're grounded and energetic sometimes. Sometimes they're energetic, but they're also grounded. They're balanced in some way, but they're still having to deal with this. Another social skill that they're recognizing within themselves is how to be a good sport. Especially if they're playing games, and someone teases them, makes fun of something, okay, they get mad about that. But then what if they lose in a game or something? They get mad and probably give up on it and walk away forever. Don't want to ever touch that one ever again. Don't want to play that game ever again, because if they lose, they may not have a really great skill of knowing how to just let it go. they take it personally. So there's an insecurity there that needs to be worked on too for them. Another social skill for this person that they're learning about is how to negotiate in a fair, kind, good way, one that makes each person feel valuable and worthy, instead of doing it in a manipulative way. And negotiating can be done in an emotionally manipulative way, and it can be done with resources or emotions. So you can use this person as having to learn how to negotiate with people, and not always have it be about them, or not always giving in and being like the one that loses out too. Like, especially if about being the good sport. If they are negotiating and they don't know how to negotiate very well, and so they can get mad. So this person, okay, those are the things your person is actually having to deal with. But there's that sense of determination and that sense of not willing to let things go here too. They are unwilling to let you go. They are determined to hold on, and so they're looking at a new plan. Now, some personalities that they're having to look at. We all have different aspects of our personality all the time. We change fluently, always ever changing. Different parts of us come out. We learn it from everybody in our environment. We pick them up. They're ingrained in us without even realizing it too, until it's brought into your attention. And so the one thing that your person has never really looked at is living in a fantasy world. Maybe they recognize that they do, but they've never seen it as a problem. This was a way to retreat from a life that they didn't like, a life that was not worth living. They'd rather live in a fantasy world that they they enjoy better than the real world where they have to walk, eat, breathe, and all that. So a fantasy world, their illusions and everything, they may have had a lot of illusions about things. And then we have protecting yourself emotionally. So this person may have actually just, this is the empathic part. This one can go with empathy. This could be a person who is more passive if they're living in a fantasy world, but then this can also be a person who can be a bit more in the aggressive nature. I don't know. And there's the narcissist deal where they live in a fantasy world too, but I don't really see this person, you know, maybe they have a little tendency of having some narcissistic tendencies because of manipulation and any stuff like that, but this person is just pulling back, living in a fantasy world because it feels safe for them. They don't, and so that right now they could be also, they might like to play games like video games and stuff like that, or go on the Xboxes and stuff like that, playing in those little worlds, and they probably get along with other people pretty good, or they can probably, you know, talk shit on there too, on those Xbox games and, you know, the internet stuff, the stuff that they are in a fantasy world. They enjoy that more than they enjoy reality because somebody pushed them into that kind of world, and at a younger age they felt more safer here than they felt in the real world, dealing with real world deals. So they have no problem pulling back and observing you and watching you, even though they're really sitting there with a lot of passion. They're just like, and they have no problem taking their time working on a plan, because if they can live in a fantasy world, that's not a problem. If they can take their time working out, they can live in this little fantasy world and also still take time, you know, working through some illusions, some deceptions. It could be false deceptions. Another thing that this thing with this protecting themselves emotionally, maybe they come off a little too clingy sometimes, or maybe they don't. Maybe they're overprotective of their emotions. Maybe they're expressing their emotions too easily. Maybe this is an empathic quality of expressing, letting your emotions be there, and being out and open at the wrong times and to the wrong kind of people too. So this is taking a recognition of a person who would take advantage of them expressing vulnerability. So they're having to learn how to engage with their emotions in a right way. I'm not a psychologist, darn it, I sound like a psychologist here, but this is what tarot does. It makes you really look deep in at different aspects of a person other than just what you see on the outside. You know, people can put masks on all the time. Some people don't wear masks. Some people actually take that mask off and they show you stuff, but then there's still stuff that you don't see. Okay, so that is for group B. And hope you enjoyed that. Now we're going to, and I thank you for watching. So now I'm going to put it on pause really quick, and we'll get to group C in a second. As long as I don't hit the unrecord button a second time. Okay, now we're back to group C. Those that picked the Black King. So here we go. This is for those who are not in contact with you. The first message that your person would like to say, or that we want you to know, or however this goes, okay, is there is a standstill. So this is through the I Ching. So there is a standstill with you and your person, obviously. Imagine that. This is something that they're dealing with. There may be, you guys may have just come to some kind of incompatibility at the moment, like just having a disagreement. It sounds like when we have a standstill, there's like a face off, right? And so you may feel like you're kind of playing chess with your person, right? Okay, hold on. I'm just putting those out of the way over here. Okay, so the other, or we have an oracle card, change is always good. And what else do we have? The other oracle card for you that we have is friends. Boom. So your person is dealing with helpline troop type of people, people hanging out with their friends here. So they're getting friendship, support, and aid. So right now, that's what they're dealing with. They're letting their friends help them, basically. We have another one too, but we'll hold on. I gotta oh, this one, when I was doing the shuffles for you guys for each of these groups, this one came out with 2 messages that they wanted to get through, so that's what's going to come through for you guys. So lucky you, Group C, for those of you that picked C. So first off, I'll read this one. Your message for you specifically is change is always good. It says, actually, the only effective way of changing another person is by changing yourself. Works every time, guaranteed. Though I'm kind of partial to the way you are right now, tally-ho, the universe. So maybe they actually wanted you to change. So actually the only effective way of changing another person is by changing yourself. So if they've asked you to change, maybe they need to change just themselves. But right now they're dealing with friends, and you guys are at a standstill. So let's see what else is going on. We're going to see what tarot cards come out, what they're doing in regards to you and for themselves, what they're thinking about you, what they're planning on doing, how they're feeling about you right at the moment. So let's see. So right now we have the Page of Swords. So they're looking at you, they're spying on you maybe. They're spying and watching every move. They may be thinking about a new plan, but they're watching you in some way, shape, or form. I hate saying that, but they could also be thinking of a new idea to go, they might want to start something. There's a potential for a beginning here to start something, maybe contact you. They want to contact you because it's the Page, so they're wanting to contact you, but they're also watching, so they're really thinking about contacting you. Look at that, that's pretty awesome. But there's the Five of Wands, so there's probably some communication that they're thinking about with you that's been kind of like not so great, and this is that standstill energy right here, where this person, they're just like standing there putting their head down like, oh, I just don't know. And you, the same energy too. Both of you, I don't know if you're male or female, but both of you guys are just unable to really speak at the moment, but they want to communicate to you. But they're just like in this energy of, there's just this conflict. There's been some passionate words most likely said, and we have the Two of Wands. So they're looking at how can they're trying to figure out some type of, they're trying to make a choice about this. They're making a decision. When should I contact them? I really want to contact them, but how do I do this? Should I or should I not? So they're indecisive. They're not quite indecisive, but they're thinking about how they can do this and when they should do this and if they should do this. They're really thinking about it. They want to, but they're watching you. They're looking for the right thing, most likely, to communicate, because right now, you guys, they don't know really what to say. Let's see what else we have to say for them. They feel regretful of actions in the past. They have some regrets, and they may actually be wanting to make some changes about that. So they're feeling pretty regretful right now. If you were to walk up to them, or if you were to spy on them, look at, this is them. They've got their back kind of turned. There's potential here behind them, but right now that could probably be their friends trying to pull them in their direction. Their friends are standing there, guarding them, standing there behind them, while they look at this regret. So their friends are able to support them, which is really good, but they're feeling regretful of actions that they've taken with you, regretful of spilt emotions here. And we have them looking, just being in that standstill, not making any moves. Slow moving person, trying to get grounded, most likely looking at a potential new offer to give you. Maybe they're looking at a gift to give you. They're holding a gift, assessing the value and worth, debating, should I I want to communicate, but there's something wrong. This potential, there's a bit of conflict going on right there. And we also have the Death card. So they're trying to maybe change up their ways too, because they're holding back, taking some time, because they know that there's something right now. There's like, they feel there's an end right now towards the future, so they're holding back. They're wanting to communicate, but they don't know how. So maybe they figure they need to end something, transition into a new way. Maybe they want to try something new because they're on their little black horse. Right now they're on their little black horse, just waiting. And this little white horse changes, the color, and the horses change as they go through this process of a death in this situation with you. And they rescind it. It's like they're going to go do something non-traditional, going back. It's like they're going forward. So the white horse shows them coming back, most likely in truth. Or they could just be deciding right now is just not the time. They need to go off and, they're going to hold on to this opportunity, but they need to change some stuff in themselves first. So we do have the Death card here. So they're just, right now, they think that maybe you guys are ended. That's what they think long term. They think that you guys are ended right now. But they're not moving. They're not making any moves because they want to communicate first to you. They're trying to make a new choice here. I don't think they want to go, and they want to make a choice but they have regrets. They have 2 5s here. This is a lot of disappointment. This is challenges for them. This person feels really challenged, double challenged. So they're at a standstill in their own life, basically, trying to figure out what they should do. And they really think right at this moment that this is there's ended. And they're maybe trying to think, how can it's not the World card. So this is the possibility of them thinking, okay, well, I need to maybe end something inside of me. I have to go against traditions, though, to do this. Go in a different way. They want to maybe come back in because they're wanting to, communicate to you. But this is new communication that they're wanting to give, but they just don't really know how to do that. The 2 extra messages that we had from that came out when I was shuffling for my little oracle cards around the world. Oh wow, there's a wedding. Imagine that. Your person, even though they're not contact, they're thinking about wedding, huh? It's a situation that involves marriage. So this is a situation that involves marriage or wedding. They could be thinking this could be this can pertain to you if you guys are married, and they could be thinking about maybe a wedding. Or if you're not married, this is them thinking about maybe marriage. Maybe that might be something that they're thinking, that they're holding on to right now during their standstill. Meaning that if they were thinking about a marriage, this is a big choice for them. This is a life-changing decision in your guys' relationship that they would, and so they're holding back. And I don't want to get your guys' hopes up, because right now they're dealing with this challenge of this standstill and having some regrets. And they're going to probably most likely have to fix some stuff within themselves, especially if they're having a hard time coming forward trying to communicate with you. They need to communicate something new. They want to communicate some new idea, and they just don't know how. And the other one is calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, visualizations help bring you together. So this person most likely believes you are the one for them towards the future, And it did come out with them thinking about marriage towards you, or if already married, then they're thinking about why you guys got married in the first place, or they're probably going back to the vows and blah, 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 all that stuff, right? Okay, that isn't blah, 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 but I've been there, done that too, but mine was a fake marriage, which is really weird. I won't get into that right now, because we're talking about you, not me. Okay, some social skills that your person is really, while they're in no contact with you, the social skills that they're learning about themselves that they need to fix on themselves. These are things that you may have actually told them they need to fix it, but this is something that they're actually recognizing within themselves that they need to fix. It's not your job to go tell them what they need to fix, right? Because they're not going to fix it unless they see it in themselves. And so they're recognizing how they help others, that they need to fix something about that. Maybe they're over helpful, or maybe they just don't help enough. And social skill number 2 that they're recognizing, arranging your problems by importance. Prioritizing, basically. Arranging, maybe they have a situation, a problem with that. You'll know who your what this means with your person, but arranging their problems by importance. So maybe they don't put anything in priority. They do take the easiest thing, and something that really needed to be looked at. Well, no, I gotta do that one first, because they like doing something else better than something that really needed to be done. They'd probably put it off. Procrastination, probably. Social skill number 3, ask permission. So they're needing to learn, they're recognizing that they don't know how to ask permission for things. They probably just take, or they're afraid to ask, so they just take. They don't know how to ask permission in the right kind of way. Maybe they're just overly demanding. They demand things instead of asking. They just do. Some feelings that your person that you're in no contact with right now is dealing with. Determined. So they're having to recognize how this is having an effect on their life. If they're over determined or not determined. This is determined. That's a feeling that they're dealing with at the moment. Another one is surely, kind of like, oh yeah, yeah, right, kind of in the pompous kind of area, kind of like, whatever, arrogance almost. And another one, disapproving. Now they may have actually learned that one when they were a baby. When we're a baby born into this world, we didn't know how to disapprove of others or disapprove of anything. All we knew how to do was smile and cry. And be fearful of that darn light when we came out, right? Anyways, and taking that first breath, we had to scream because it was painful, all that air coming in your lungs. Imagine that. But someone has obviously taught this person. They've probably been disapproved of by someone while they were growing up, and so they've learned how to do that right back to others. The same thing with this energy of sureliness, and maybe they're an overachiever because they're way over determined to have everything go their way. Now some personality situations going on. Personality that they're recognizing within themselves that maybe you've seen but they don't recognize until it's the right time for them. And so the personality aspects of themselves that they're recognizing that they're trying to work on right now, or they're recognizing as a part of them, is self-love. So they're learning to self-love themselves. Maybe they haven't really loved themselves, especially if they are able to fall into this this feeling of disapproving disapproving of everybody. That's kind of judging right here. So they're learning to learn self-love, give love to their self, to accept themselves. That way they're able to be acceptive of other people and not so disapproving. It sounds like something a parent would do to a child, like, I didn't approve of that, and they may have overheard that every single time. So, and okay, here's the other thing. Now this person lives very self-centered. Your person is learning that they're living in a fantasy world of porn, affairs, and dreams. Okay, your person might not be in the porn part, but you never know. Hey, we don't know. If they're living in a fantasy world, you don't know everything about people, right? So your person, you may know that your person is living in a thing of porn, and there's affairs and dreams, and this person is now recognizing that within themselves, of whereas once they may have seen this as not wrong, and now they're seeing it as they're recognizing the damage that this can do, especially when you're in a relationship and it's not something that was accepted in the first place. It was not something. Who wants porn, who wants affairs, who wants false dreams, that's just, this is what this person is recognizing. So if this person is pulled away from you, then let them have their little silent treatment. Let them have their time alone to start fixing some things, so that way you don't have to tell them when they come back to you, if they decide to come back to you, because they are sitting here thinking about, probably coming back, but they have some issues to fix within themselves, especially the self-love. With them changing too, they may come off as a whole different person coming back to you. Depends on how long it's going to take for this person to do their changing. So that is for Group C. So you guys can comment. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to be here, to sit here and watch your reading. I hope I've helped you in some way, shape, or form. If you've seen any aspects or heard of any aspects that are within yourself, then, if it goes, maybe you're mirroring this person too, then you could be mirroring this person, and that, they say like attracts like, and sometimes we don't even recognize that until we see it in ourselves. That's another thing about self-love, learning to love yourself. You learn to see things within yourself, which it looks like your person is doing, seeing things within yourself that you have, you grew up believing were okay. Didn't even know that they were there, because it's like learning how to drive a car. Everything becomes automatic. Turn on the lights, up there, you know where everything is, right? It's automatic. You don't even have to really even think about it. Stepping on the brakes, you don't think about stepping on the brakes while you're driving and steering at the same time, and flicking the heater on and turning the air conditioner and changing channels, and is multitasking just so ingrained. And so the same thing with personalities and feelings, and the way we handle how we deal in social situations. So that is for Group C. And now we're here to do Group D. Hello, 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 Group D. How are you guys today? And hello all the rest of you who did not pick Group D but wanted to stay and watch anyways. Hope that I'm giving you some great insight. Okay, so here we go for Group D. Here is your oracle message, and what else do we have? Okay, that is get these unmixed. Okay, good job. Okay, and we have the tarot cards. These are what are these? These are the personality cards, and these are tarot cards, and another oracle card, and another oracle card. So the first oracle card I'm going to read for you is the one from my I Ching, the cauldron. So your person is dealing with boiling a pot. As a cauldron is where you put in water and you boil things. So this person is most likely dealing with emotions. They're dealing with things that they have put into a pot, and now they're dealing with what is bubbling up, what is coming up because of that. So they have planted seeds basically in their life, and at the moment, while they are in no contact with you, they're having to deal with consequences of things that they have been doing. They're dealing with consequences of life in the cauldron. They could be putting new things into their little cauldron too. The message that Spirit would like to give to you, that is in particular for just you, for Group D, that you have options is meaningful. Rock on. Oh, I was holding it up too high. I apologize for that. But that you have options is meaningful. So rock on. That is good. So you have options available to you. Let's see what the card says in the back. It says, if I could make just 2 wishes, I'd wish I could somehow convey to you the profound depths of my gratitude for every moment of your life. I'd also wish that you could somehow know of your unimaginable importance, just as you now are to the lives of so very many. And of course, I'd wish for even more wishes. Oh, shoot. You were such a good idea, the universe. Aw, just cute. So the universe loves you, and you're beautiful, and they're grateful that you're created, and I'm grateful that you're created too. And your person is probably grateful that you're created too, even though they're in no contact right now, right? So they should be appreciative of you. No, just, that's kind of self-centered of me to say that. But you know what? You're creation, so if they can't appreciate the creation of you, why the heck are, they're sitting there being quiet to you, not contacting you? What is wrong with them, right? Now, the other oracle card that I have, this is from the fairy deck. Let's see what they have to say. This is what your person is doing. Your person is in transformation right now. And this is the singer of transfiguration. So this person is going through a process. This is a new process for them. This is like beginning all over. They're transforming their life. This is the number 11, by the way. They're transforming, they're metamorphosizing, they're going through, they're just like experiencing a lot of change in their life, and it's brand new. This is a new process that they're going through right now, and it's putting a lot of passion in their life. It's showing and maybe opening up the doors for them, and they're boiling things in a pot. So while the cauldron, besides they're dealing with consequences, but they could also be putting new things in there and trying new things and seeing what comes out of that. Kind of being like a manifester, trying to manifest things. And as far as like what's going on with all the oracles in the world, the card that came out was make the effort. They're thinking about making an effort towards you. It says, take the steps you are guided to. So this person wants to make the effort to really transform himself, change himself, so they can come back to you. So they may be in no contact with you, but they're doing other things in order, most likely, to fix themselves. Let's see what else we have. So the first 3 oracle or tarot cards that I have is we have the Ten of Swords. So they're really mentally exhausted. They're done. They're just like done with all the betrayal and stuff like that. They're just drained of that energy. They're just relaxing right now. This is a everyday thing. This doesn't mean that it's completely over unless we have like the World card or something show up. If this were to say that they're over, if they've been in little contact, they make contact and then they break it and they make it and it's back and forth, then right now they're just drained emotionally, right? Not emotionally, this is like just mentally exhausted. So they are not contacting you right at the moment because they just don't want to deal with anything. They have the Queen of Swords. So they're thinking about contacting you, but they're waiting. They want to say stuff. They have things they want to say, but they don't want to do it right at this moment. They're too exhausted. They're like, ain't gonna say it. They got things they want to say though. They feel feelings, that they see truth. They got things that they want to communicate, but right now, no. They're just sitting there on their bed if you were to come walking in at them, you would have a cold-hearted person, because they might actually feel kind of betrayed or something, and because of this mental exhaustion, they're just trying to transform their life. And then they have the Two of Pentacles. So they're showing two faces. They're trying to juggle the world, and they are actually trying to make a choice. But this choice is going to have to be pretty grounded and solid for them to really come back. And so they're kind of conflicted right now. They have a lot of confliction here regarding, you know, they're finding peace at taking their sweet butt time about making choices to making this choice. They're taking their time because they got a lot to say to you. They are pretty much in the energy of there's no emotion there right at this moment. They're grounded. They're trying to keep balanced. They're completely mentally exhausted right at the moment. They've also experienced a tower moment. This may not be for you, but there has been some sudden disruption that has come in their life. So it's not just you that they're mentally exhausted. This is other stuff too. There's some disruption, something that has happened suddenly, and especially if they're in no contact, you may not even know about this unless you already do know about this from outside sources, because they won't tell you because they're not in contact. They've got a lot to say though. And look at this. They do want to take action. Look at that. They want to take action. They want to come offer you this potential cup of love or even an apology. They've already thought about it. They might have, you know, they've looked at it like as in if it was the Page of Cups, they've thought about it, they looked at it, they held this cup in their hand, they looked up at the sky, they felt good about that. You know, if they looked down, they didn't feel good, but if they looked up, they were feeling pretty good about it. Then they decide to get up on this little white horse, and that little white horse has truth, right? And that little white horse has not, well, it's a big white horse, has not crossed that water yet. So the emotions, once he crosses that water, he hasn't got there yet, but he's slowly getting there. He's not as slow as the Knight of Pentacles. So your person is getting ready to go through a river of emotion with this cup. Once they cross, their emotions are on display. So they're really this is the action they're wanting to do right now. But right now they're taking their time. They want to offer this cup of love. They want to come forward with this cup, this potential of a relationship potential. They want to start something new, but this potential right at the moment. They want to go forward in life. They want to go forward. They want to, and if they're coming towards you with this cup, they want you to go forward with them too. Look at that. But this is what they want to do. But they've got some issues, obviously, that they're having to deal with because they're doing a transfiguration. And sometimes maybe you don't want to be around a person when they're transforming their life. I mean, it'd be nice to be there and help them with their problems, but sometimes some people need to pull back and not have other people be in there, because people are pretty proud about how they fix their stuff. So I never ever thought about that until now too. But yeah, people, when they're in the mode of fixing things, seeing things that are wrong, especially if they feel mental exhaustion going on, and seeing things for what they are and having a lot to say but just holding back, and having, sudden abrupt changes, and this person is, maybe they're proud. They may not want to speak at the moment because they're transfiguring, they're trying to do things, build things, make new things, but they're also trying to make the effort. They want to make the effort, but they got the choice. They're looking at making a choice, but they're making it with a good decision. They want to step back and make that decision. So some social skills that your person is dealing with, that they're learning about right at the moment. Standing up for your rights. Maybe they never stood up for their rights, and now they are. Look at that. They're sitting back, thinking about all their rights. They're mentally exhausted. Maybe they just don't know how to stand up for their rights, but they're learning how to stand up for the rights in a way that's acceptable, that is good, instead of in a way that's just all about them or not all about them. Not letting people walk all over them, but also not walking all over people. Listening, look at the person talking. Maybe they have a problem when they're listening to people. Maybe they don't look at the people while they're talking. They probably look at everything else. So they're really not showing that they're paying attention. But they probably are paying attention. They're just so they have a skill that's ingrained in them that shows from learning. It's a learnt trait where they can hear everything that's going around because they've learned to protect themselves. It's a survival type skill, so they're able to hear everything that's going around. But as far as looking at a person while they're talking, they may not want to look at that person because maybe they just were told to, I don't know, made to feel so insecure somehow, some way, some form. They're learning about this. Dealing with embarrassment. How to deal with embarrassment. This is what they're dealing with. They're dealing with embarrassment. How to deal with embarrassment. So maybe they became really passive when they got embarrassed, or they became really aggressive when they got embarrassed. And so now they're learning this about themselves, how they're dealing that. Maybe they had done this in a wrong type of way, but they're learning this. Feelings. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here's one. What the heck? Your person is learning a feeling within themselves. They may be feeling this. Maybe they never realized that this was a problem, but they're feeling the feeling of hysterical. Oh gosh, it makes me think of, I'm not saying this is your person, but they're in the loony bin going, laughing away up the storm, just going to town. Or they could be getting high and doing it. No, just kidding. Anyways, they're learning about when it's appropriate probably to be hysterical, when it's not to be appropriate on being hysterical. Like you wouldn't want to maybe go to a funeral, right, and become hysterical, like laughing wise, or even hysterically upset. I don't understand that word really, except for the fact that I can understand hysterical laughing, maybe like just hysterical, just like inappropriate laughing at the wrong time and overly done too, over dramatic about it. Okay, another feeling, maybe this person is dealing with hystericalness, and if I might have to Google that one because I'm not too sure about that one either. Okay, so yeah, if you don't understand hysterical, I understand the concept of this, but I do not understand the completeness of this. Joyful. So your person is dealing with feelings of joyfulness, and they're trying to, so look at this. So they've got joyful, they've got hysterical. These people, it's like overjoyed, so that sounds almost like the higher end of over happy. But there's feelings of joyful that they're actually learning about. Maybe they mistook hysterical joyfulness for a joyful feeling, not really understanding that joyful is not hysterical, it's joyful. Like, how are you joyful? Joyful is you hear the clarity in the voice, you hear the laughter, it's like a pill. You know what I mean, I think. Another feeling that your person is looking at, oh geez, bashfulness. Okay, a shy person will over laugh at things. They could almost become in the hysterical laughter, like overly laughing because of the uncomfortableness that they feel when they're around other people, and they're uncomfortable and feeling a bit insecure. Then they overdo things, especially in laughter. They might laugh too much just to show that they like, but they don't understand that, and they're learning this now about themselves. They're learning to be more, they're putting it into a more joyful space. So they're learning these two feelings and the feeling of being bashful. This is why they're bashful. The bashfulness comes from a sense of being oppressed, is what I would say. Like, this is a learned thing, some being shy to really step up for themselves and speak up for themselves, and yeah, standing up for themselves. Look at that, standing up for their rights. They're bashful. And what is the other one? Listening. Look at the person talking. Maybe they're too busy being hysterical, laughing, or overdoing things, right? And maybe joyful. Dealing with embarrassment. Yeah, that's another thing I could see of them getting a little bit. They could become either really bashful from being embarrassed, or they could become overly hysterical, or maybe they could even become joyful even though they're embarrassed. What the heck? This is your person that they're dealing with these things. Now, personality. Here we go. This is some personalities that they're recognizing within themselves that they're actually trying to fix all on their own without anyone telling them, you need to change. Maybe they might have been told that they needed to change this personality in themselves, but of course if they don't see it, why should they change, right? Well, now they're looking at themselves in the mirror, blaming others for their failures, for failures instead of their own self. They're blaming others. They've blamed others for the failures that they're dealing with. They always put it on someone else. Oh, it wasn't mine. They're not accepting responsibility or accountability for anything that they've failed at. They'd rather push it off on someone else, blame it on someone else, say it was someone else's fault that they didn't get this, they didn't get that. And where do you think they learned that from? They learned that from home. Or the people in their environment growing up. They had to learn that from somewhere. So where did they learn that? And that's what they're probably thinking too. Where did I learn to blame other people? How did I learn that? That's what this person is learning now. They're going through maybe a dark night of the soul if they're recognizing this, because this is something that's definitely going to be in their personality. And your needs. They're learning about their own needs here. Their needs and how they're supposed to be met. Maybe in a way that they've been taught. Maybe they're seeing how their needs have been taught to be met in a wrong type of way. Something that just doesn't really make... because everything we do is right, until we realize all of a sudden we have this wake up moment and go, wow, I don't really like that aspect of myself. I don't like that, how I'm doing. How did I ever do that? You know, this is, we grow up thinking everything, how we get our needs met, that's the way that it's supposed to be, right? You don't see anything wrong with it. This person probably not seeing how their needs are being met, that there's nothing wrong with how they get their needs met. If they don't get their needs from you, maybe they're getting it, maybe they've gone outside while in a relationship, maybe they went out and got needs met from you, out from other people. You know, this is dependent on your person and the relationship, the reason for no contact right now. If they're they've got mental exhaustion here, so they've got a tower moment, so they're recognizing a lot of stuff, and they're trying, they may be actually coming back to give you an apology, and they got a lot of stuff to say too. They're in their feelings, recognizing ideas. This is beginning to see clarity within themselves here, and this is having to juggle and balance and right wrongs, living to, this is like, she looks almost like Cinderella here, like at midnight the time changes and everything, because yeah, there's a clock on this one, I believe. Oh yeah, the carriage is there, so the pumpkin changes back, or the carriage changes back into the pumpkin. So this is living in two worlds, two different kinds of worlds, and at one time by a certain time, it's called taking the mask off. And this person is taking the mask off of themselves. They want to go forward in their real identity here. So this is them learning about how their needs are being met, how they're getting their needs met, and how to maybe express their needs in a different way instead of, and how to communicate about their needs. But they're really learning about their needs and how their needs are important too, and how they should, if they're in a relationship with a person, they should express in a really good, healthy, emotional way how their needs aren't being met. And if you're unable to meet their needs, just the same with vice versa. If unable to meet that need, then be honest with each other and just go separate ways. That's what I would say about that. This person blames others for failures. This person probably is pretty demanding, probably wants his needs met, his or her needs met at all times whatsoever. If they have a problem with blaming others, that's kind of being in the more ego, not wanting to accept accountability unless, and then when they need something, you need to be right there. Sounds like my child. Sort of. Okay, so anyways, that is Group D. For those of you that are not in contact. So hopefully they're learning to accept their accountabilities. But this person, well, they're coming back. They want to come back, but right at the moment, it doesn't look like it because they're dealing with mental exhaustion. So I hope you guys liked that, enjoyed it, and I appreciate for you guys all coming to watch this. And just leave comments, get a hold of me, whatnot. It's all up to you. This is also a general, you know, some of these may hit on your relationship and some may not. First time I've ever done this, pick a card. So I appreciate comments, like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Have a great day.